Hello and welcome everyone to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. I am Ravindram, your physics faculty, and today I am going to discuss the solution of AITS which took place today. Okay, on that is 23rd of January 2023. So I'm going to discuss the physics portion of the paper. So let's quickly begin with the first question. The first question is a purely conceptual question, and it says that the height of the antenna, right, limits the population covered by the transmission, obviously, because it has a particular range, okay, up to which it can go. So it cannot cover the entire globe. That is why obviously the height of the antenna limits the population covered by the transmission. As we can see, suppose this is the planet, this is the antenna, so this is how. So we can say that it can cover only this much portion, understand? So obviously its height does play a role. So first option is correct. Limits the ground wave propagation. No, it helps the ground wave propagation, not limits it. Okay, effectively used in the line of sight communication. Yes. So A and C are true. That means third option is correct. So in the first question, which option is correct? Third option is correct. Now the horizontal displacement in a projectile motion. See, do you remember a projectile motion? What happens in a projectile motion? You launch it like this, it goes, okay, it has got, we break it into two, along two axes, one is along x axis, another is along y axis. So few things we already know. Suppose this is u, this is theta, this is x axis and this is y axis. Okay, here we already know that ay is minus g, but ax is 0. There is no acceleration along horizontal direction. So if you talk about delta x, so delta x will be what? Ux into t plus half ax into t square, but ax is 0, right? So delta x is directly proportional to, that means horizontal displacement is directly proportional to time. So I guess, I'm sorry, first statement assertion is right. Now projectile motion is uniform motion along horizontal and accelerated motion along vertical. Obviously it is accelerated along vertical, we already know that. Why? Because constantly one force, that is mg, is acting downward, which is trying to bring the object down and accelerate it downwards, right? But there is no such force in the horizontal direction. So projectile motion is uniform motion along horizontal, definitely true, and accelerated motion along vertical, definitely true, and it should be the first option because the reason is explaining the assertion. Because if it is horizontal, it is what is uniform? Yes. So it is uniform motion in the horizontal direction, and naturally the displacement is directly proportional to time. Okay, so let's move ahead. A 600 kg rocket is set for launching. Okay, so fine. So this is rocket going up, right? So what is happening to the rocket? So obviously there is one thrust force acting on the rocket in the upward direction, mg is acting in the downward direction, there is net acceleration a, right? So this is the whole working of a rocket. So you will say thrust force minus the weight gives you mass times acceleration. So thrust force will be equal to m times g plus a, where thrust force is nothing but exhaust speed multiplied by rate of combustion of the fuel, right? Rate at which the fuel is being burnt. So this is m times g plus a. I guess every information is available here. Let's put the values and get our answer. Okay, so we need to find out what is mu. Mu is given to us, is given us 176.4. So it is 176.4 is equals to 600 into 9.8 plus 19.6. So this will become 29.4. Okay. Now 29.4 ones are 29.4 sixes are 6 ones are 600s are. So this comes out to be 100 meter per second, and I guess second option is correct. Is this okay? So this is a very simple logic in this question. Okay, so let's take a look into this question now. Here it is given that there is an inclined plane like this. Can you see this? And there is an angle of 30 degrees and a block slides down from here. Here its initial velocity is 0 and it comes and strikes here. Its velocity is what we need to figure out. right? Everything is given here, the length is 200 meter, friction will be acting. So first of all, tell me what are the forces that will be acting on the block, right? So you will say, sir, there are three forces. Number one is mg acting on the block, number two is normal acting on the block, and number three is friction Fk acting on the block, because the block is sliding down and hence the friction will be of kinetic nature, right? And where is the displacement of the block taking place? You will say, sir, the block is getting displaced here. So for normal, the angle is 90 degrees and hence the work done by normal will be 0. For friction, the angle is 180 degrees and hence the work done by friction will be negative. And for mg, the angle is 90 minus theta, right? Anyways, so we will write down and say that work done by all the forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. So that is half mv square minus 0. Work done by normal plus work done by gravity plus work done by friction will be half mv square. Now, first of all, tell me what is the frictional force in this particular question. See, frictional force is nothing but mu k into n, and n is nothing but equal to component of mg, that is mg cos theta. Okay, this is Fk. Clear, everyone? And what is the height by which it is coming down? It is nothing but L sin theta. Okay, now everything is known to us. Work done by normal will be 0. Work done by gravity will be mgh minus mu mg cos theta into L, that is displacement. Why minus? Because obviously I have told you the angle is 180 degrees, which will be equal to half mv square. Okay, now m and m will get cancelled, v will be equal to root 2gl into sin theta minus mu cos theta. Now what is h? H is L sin theta, right? What is this? L cos theta here, so L will be taken common. Now put the values and you will get your answer. 2 into 9.8 into 200 into half minus 3 root 3 by 10 into root 3 by 2. Okay, so it will be 196 under root will be 14 meter per second. So second option will be correct. Is this okay, everyone? If you want to take a look, just take a look quickly. Okay, so this is the solution of this particular question. Let's move on to the next question. Whenever they have given power and they have asked change in kinetic energy, so work done is change in kinetic energy, which will be equal to P dt. Use this concept and get your answer, right? So simply put the value of power is how much? 3t square minus 2t plus 1, and I suppose you can do the integration from here, putting the limits from t equals to 2 seconds to t equals to 4 seconds. Got it? And get your answer. Now, for this particular question, they are saying that there are 2 point masses. This is m1 moving with a velocity u1. This is m2 moving with a velocity u2. So after collision, they become a single body of m1 plus m2, and they are moving with a velocity, common velocity v, right? So what is the loss in kinetic energy? So there is a very famous formula. Otherwise, you can use the concept of conservation of linear momentum, find v, and then use the concept of kinetic energy loss is nothing but initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy. Otherwise, if an examination, especially like mains, it is better you remember these formulae. So it is half into reduced mass, right, into u1 plus u2 whole square. Now put u1 and u2 with their proper signs. If both are in the same direction forward, both will be positive. If any one of them is in the backward direction, one will be taken negative, right? So for example, they are moving with a velocity 8 and the another body is moving with 4 in the opposite direction. So take u2 as minus 4, u1 as 8, and then solve it and you will get your answer. Is that okay? Now here we already know, students, that I is nothing but mk square. So log of I is equals to log of m plus 2 times log of k, right? So this is y, this is c, this is m, this is x. So there is a slope is equals to 2 units and c is log of mass, right? So there is a positive y-intercept. So this goes out, this goes out. Positive y-intercept is here and here, but slope is not 0. So this is also out of the question. The only option correct is this, which is a straight line, right, with some slope. Now in this particular question, no need to use this formula, because instantly after seeing the question, the formula that will come in your head will be this. You will say, sir, it is omega naught square minus omega square whole square plus gamma omega whole square, right? So no need to do all this. See, thing is, they are saying that amplitude is resonant frequency is what? So we know that amplitude is maximum when frequency is resonating. That means we have to maximize this thing. So we have to minimize this thing. That means we have to minimize the denominator, right? So if we have to minimize the denominator, what we will do? We will say d by d omega of 2 omega square minus 36 omega plus 9, this must be 0, right? So it is looking like a difficult question, but it is damn easy. Many of the students must have left this question thinking that, oh my god, we don't remember this formula, how we can solve it, we have not studied or not revised the concept of force oscillation, we will not be able to answer this. It is not like that. Okay students, very simple concept. And they are asking resonating frequency. So omega is 9, but if like 2 pi f is equals to omega, so 2 pi f is equals to 9. So if they ask you f, so it is 9 by 2 pi, that is 4.5 by pi. So this is how much? This is something like 1 point something something, right? But there is no other option given. So that means if they are talking about resonant frequency, they are talking about omega only. Hence we will go with 9. Okay. Now space rockets are launched in equatorial lines. See, this is a very famous concept. If this is earth, this is east and this is west, and we all know that sun goes from east to west, but we know that sun doesn't move. That means our earth is going from west to east. That is why the sun appears to go from east to west, right? That means this earth is rotating like this, and if earth is rotating like this, then it is, and we know that earth is spinning at a very high rate. That is why in order to take advantage of the speed of the rotational speed of earth, it is very beneficial for us, it is highly beneficial for us to launch a satellite from west towards east, so that we can take the advantage of the speed, rotational speed of earth. Definitely good, true. Acceleration is minimum at equator, equator, whatever it is. So it is minimum at equator, right? Why? Because we already know that the effect of rotation of earth on the gravity is maximum at equator, plus the radius of the equator is always also greater than the radius of the pole, right? So that is why there are two reasons why the gravity at equator is lesser than the gravity at poles. Anyway, so this is true. If the velocity of orbiting here, this we already know that what is orbital speed, root gm by r, and what is escape speed, it is root 2 gm by r at any radius. So we know that escape speed is nothing but root 2 times of orbital speed, which is 1.414 times orbital speed. That means 41.4% of increment will remove it from the orbit and send it for good, right? And Kepler's law, obviously it is what, dA by dt. Second law is what, dA by dt L by 2m. L is angular momentum, and if dA by dt is constant, why? Because L is constant. That is why it is based on conservation of angular momentum. So fourth option is correct. A, B, C and D, all four options are right. All four statements are true, right? Not options. Let's move on to the next question. A uniform rod. See, there is a very famous, students, what I am trying to do is, again I am telling you that I am not reading the question, because This is a recording, so you can pause the video, read the question and then play the video while I am absolutely telling you the solution. Okay. Plus I expect you, because you have given the paper, you have already attempted this paper, so you must be knowing these questions very well, right? So I am not going to waste my time reading the question again, explaining the gist of the question again. I'll start with the solution, and whatever is required I'll tell in the solution itself. Okay. So in this particular question, if you talk about energy density, that is energy per unit volume, so it is half into stress into strain. One more formula that you should remember, and it was asked in mains last year. Now this is half into Y into strain square. Got it? So this is the formula. So I guess last one will be better. So it is half into Y into alpha delta theta whole square, because strain is alpha delta theta. So it is half into Y into alpha square into theta square, because theta initial is 0, right? So from here we will solve it, and theta comes out to be 20 degrees. Simple question, simple solution. Now ice block. See, the thing is, when ice melts into water, and in a satellite there will be weightlessness, that means effective value of the gravity will be 0, and if the effective value of gravity is 0, that means there is no external force on ice or water, I should say. So under the absence of external force, because of the presence of surface tension force, it will take up the spherical shape, and if it takes up the spherical shape, it will have some radius, right? So area will be 4 pi r square, right? Cool. Which will be 4 pi centimeter square given already, that means radius is 1 centimeter. So what is volume? It is 4 by 3 pi r cube, which will be how much? 4 by 3 pi centimeter cube. Got it? Simple. See, now the thing is here, what happens if I talk about an aerofoil, its shape is like this. So what is happening? The air which is coming from above is covering a greater distance in the same time as compared to the wind which is coming from below. Hence, if I compare V1 and V2, V1 is greater than V2, and according to Bernoulli's equation, if speed increases, the pressure falls. That means P1 is less than P2, and since the pressure above the foil becomes lesser and below the foil becomes higher, there is a dynamic lift, because of which it lifts up, and that is the basic concept behind the flying of the aeroplane. Clear? I hope this is understood pretty well. Now obviously this is true, there is no problem in this. Now let's come to the second point, a sphere dipped in a medium. Obviously this is also true. Why? Because if I talk about a small sphere, one is its weight mg acting, another one is the buoyancy acting, then another one will be what? The viscosity acting, and we know that after some time, see, viscosity is what? 6 pi eta r v. So as the velocity goes on increasing, the viscous force goes on increasing, and there will be a point when these two forces together will balance out mg, or the weight of the sphere, when we will say that yes, the terminal velocity has been achieved, now the sphere is coming down with a constant velocity. So obviously second statement is true, so this, but they don't have anything to do with each other. Now this is a pretty good concept. If you take a source here, the source is giving out waves like this with f naught, and the waves which are reaching the reflector here, they are f1, and then it is also giving out f1 here, but when these waves are reaching the source, they become f2. So the difference between f2 and f naught they are asking, they have given, in fact, is 22%, right? So first of all, what is this? Velocity of sound is not given, let's take it v. Velocity of this is coming here, let's say its velocity is v naught. Okay, so we will say that this is sound speed and v naught is reflector's speed. Now listen carefully. What is F1? F1 is F naught into, see this time the source is stationary and the observer is moving, so V plus V naught by V. Second time what happens, this becomes the source now and this becomes the observer. And if this is the observer and we will say observer is not moving, but this time the source itself is moving, so again the frequency will increase because they are coming closer. In both the cases coming closer, that is why both the cases frequency has to increase. So finally when you put the value of F2, it becomes F naught into V plus V naught upon V minus V naught. Otherwise just remember, anyhow they are coming close. When it is a source, the observer is coming close. When it is the observer, the source is coming close. Both these cases, the frequency is going to increase. So increase the numerator, decrease the denominator. That's all. That's how you remember it, right? Now, but what we want is delta F by F naught. That means what they are asking is F2 minus F naught by F naught. So if you do it, it becomes 2V naught upon V minus V naught, which is given 22.2 upon 100. Okay? So you solve it, very easy, no need to worry. 2 1s, 2 11.1 1s, almost 9s, right? So we will say from here that V naught is V by 10. Now V is what? Speed of sound. Has they given? No. So I guess generally it is 300 to 330. Mostly we take 320, 300, 330, whatever according to the question. So if I take it 320, so 330, then answer will be 33, 32 or 30 or 31. These are the possibilities. It will be either 30, 31, 32 or 33, not more than that. Okay. So between 30 to 33, between 30 to 33, second option correct. Got it? This is how we will do this question. Now a denser medium, if you look here in this particular question, they have given it like this. This. Okay. Now here what is happening? The object is kept here. So rays, so incident rays are like this, right? Incident rays are like this. This distance is 12 centimeter. This distance is 9 centimeter, right? So now what is mu? This is mu1. Why? Because the medium in which incident rays are there, that will be mu1, and obviously what will happen? These are refracted rays. So the medium containing the refracted rays is mu2, right? And obviously image will be here. Okay, cool. So we have to find out V. Hopefully this is V, which we don't know right now, but we will find it out. Cool. So let's begin. We will say mu2 by V minus mu1 by U is equals to mu2 minus mu1 by R. Now carefully put the sign, since this is the direction of incident rays, so anything measured in this direction will be taken positive and in this direction will be taken negative. So U is measured in this direction, so U will be minus 9. Mu2 is how much? Mu2 is 1 by V minus mu1 is how much? U is how much? Solve it. It comes out to be minus 5 by 24. Got it, everyone? So 4.8, this is correct. Now interference differs from diffraction to that. See, in interference fringes are equally spaced. Diffraction, no. Interference maxima, all the maxima have the same intensity, right? In interference all the maxima have the same intensity. In diffraction only the central maxima has the highest intensity and then it goes on decreasing with other maximas. So have intensity falling off, right? Correct. So A, C, D are correct. First option is correct. Clear, everyone? So this is how we will attempt this. So remember, in diffraction the fringes are not equally spaced because the central bright fringe is spaced maxima, after that other are equally spaced, but the central bright space is taking double the space the other fringes are taking, right? That is why they are not equally spaced. We cannot use this thing for diffraction. Now let's come to this particular question. This is very famous and everybody knows. If a hollow sphere is taken and the charge is spread over its surface, then electric field inside everywhere is 0 and outside it behaves as if all this point charge is kept at the center. So it will be 0 inside and then it will decrease outside. So option number 1 is correct. Okay. Magnetic flux. See, what is flux? Flux is 6t minus 3t square. What is EMF induced? Minus d phi by dt, which will be minus 6 plus 6t, right? Cool. So what is the current? It is EMF upon R, that is 6 by 4 into t minus 1. Cool. 2s are 3s are. So it is 3 by 2 into t minus 1. Now what is the power? It is I square R, that is 9 by 4 into t minus 1 into 4. So it will be 9 into t minus 1 whole square. Got it? Now what is the heat? Heat will be P dt integration, right? So it will be 9 into t square minus 2t plus 1 dt integration, right? From what time? From 0 to 2 seconds. I guess we can put the values and get our answer now. Take 9 outside. So it will be how much? T cube by 3 minus t square plus t, right? Clear? So it will be t cube by 3, right? So 2 2s are 4 2s are 8. 8 by 3 minus 4 plus 2. 8 by 3 minus 2 is 9 into 2 by 3. Answer will be 6 joules. So which option is correct? Third option is correct. Got it? AC voltage. Now this is a very good question. It's a purely resistive circuit, right? Now you tell me, what will be current? Current will be V by R, right? So it will be I naught sine of omega t, like this, right? Now let's compare it with SHM. If you remember, they are asking in how much time the current will go from half of its value to the half of its peak value to peak value, right? In short, they are asking in how much time a particle will go from x is equals to a by 2 to x is equals to a. If you remember, this is a very common question which everybody knows. This is always t by 12 and this is always t by 6. Okay. So to cover the first half it takes t by 12 time, to cover the remaining half it takes t by 6 time, right? So answer will be t by 6. Now t by 6, what is t? 2 pi by omega into 6. So what is this? 2 pi by omega is how much? 100 pi upon 6. So pi 1 3 1 by 300 or into 1000 milliseconds. So 1000 by 300 is 10 by 3, 3.3 milliseconds, okay? So which option is correct? 3.33, fourth option is correct. Is it okay? Do you understand? So use this concept. Otherwise, if you really want to know, sir, what is the actual method? See, find out the value of current and then put values at what time it is becoming half, at what time it is becoming full, then subtract the time and get your answer. Otherwise, remember this. This is the best trick, right? Now, proton and alpha particle accelerated through the same potential difference. Okay, what is the formula for radius? it is mv by bq, right? mv is what? Root over 2mk by bq, and what is k? K is charge into potential difference upon bq, so it will be 2m into potential difference upon b square into q whole under root. Okay. So technically I can say radius is directly proportional to root over mass by charge. So we will say radius of proton upon radius of alpha particle will be equal to under root of mass of proton upon mass of alpha particle into charge of alpha particle upon charge of proton. Now we know that mass of alpha particle is 4 times the mass of proton, and the charge of alpha particle is 2 times the charge of proton. So answer will be 1 by root 2. So from here we can say that radius of alpha particle is nothing but root 2 times radius of proton, which is 10 root 2 centimeter. Got it? Simple question, simple solution. It's like just you need to remember the formula. Remember the formula at the right time. These are all 3 variations. First, if momentum is same, use this. If kinetic energy is same, use this. If potential difference is same, use this formula, right? In fact, not this, use the last one. Cool? A magnet has time period t in a certain magnetic field if an okay, see, what is the time period of oscillation of a bar magnet? It is 2 pi root over I by magnetic moment into magnetic field, right? So this is a bar magnet M1. You keep another identical bar magnet. So M1 is M. This is M2 is also M. So what will be the resultant? Exactly in between. It will be M1 square plus M2 square under root, which is root 2M, right? And what about I? Moment of inertia will be obviously I1 plus I2, which will become 2I, right? So what is T dash? It will be 2 pi root over 2I by root 2M dot B, okay? So it will be how much? T dash will be 2 pi root over I by MB into 2 to the power 1 by 4. That means it is 2 to the power 1 by 4 times the time period. So second option is correct. If the velocity of the particle is increased 3 times and the percentage decrease in its de Broglie wavelength. What is de Broglie wavelength? It is h by mv. So lambda dash will be what? H by 3 mv. So it is lambda by 3, right? So what is delta lambda? It is, okay, so it will be 2 lambda by 3. Percentage wise, oh god, what will be it? Percentage wise it will be 2 by 3. Fraction wise, percentage wise will be what? 66.6 percentage. But remember very carefully, 66.6 percentage is actually 666 into 10 to the power minus 1 percentage. So here the answer will be 666. Did you understand this? Now in a meter bridge experiment, the balancing point, this question is utter nonsense. Why? Because the question is solved in the first line itself. It is 40 centimeter, balancing point C. This is left resistance, this is right resistance, this is 1 meter long wire, conducting wire, this is the jockey, okay. Initially this is 40 centimeters, so obviously this will be 60 centimeter. If this is RL, this is RR, or let's not use the R1, R2, let's say. So R1 by 40 is equals to R2 by 60. What is R1 given? R1 they have given in the last line, it is 20 ohms. And they are asking R2. So 20 by 40 is equals to R2 by 60. 1 za, 2 za, 1 za, 30 za. So what is R2? 30 ohms. What is the answer? 30 ohms. A nucleus with mass number. This is an amazing question. A very common question. This has been coming in mains examination lately. Many a times I have seen. Okay. So this is a good question. Need to remember this. Now this is a 220 AMU. Let's say 220 AMU nucleus breaks into 4 and 216. Right. Let's say speed is V1, its speed is V2. Now see, momentum are same, right? Because initially its momentum is 0. And what is final momentum? Final momentum will be 4V1 minus 4V1 plus 216 V2, right? Let's say, so this is 0. So we will say that 4V1 is equals to 216 V2. That means overall momentum of alpha particle and momentum of the remaining particle, whatever it is, they are equal. So if their momentum are equal, can we say that kinetic energy of alpha particle is p square by 2m1, kinetic energy of other particle is p square by 2m2, they are having same momentum, right? So k1 by k2 is nothing but m2 by m1. So what is m2? Okay, clear? So if k1 is to k2 is 54 is to 1, right? So what is k1? K1 is 54 upon 54 plus 1 times overall kinetic energy. So it is 54 upon 55 into 5.5 mega electron volts. It is 5.4 mega electron volts, right? So alpha particle has 5.4 mega electron volts. Just remember the kinetic energy is inversely proportional to their masses. Clear? So I have given you, otherwise you will solve it, it will take a lot of time. Just use this concept, na? The masses are inversely proportional to the kinetic energies. So lighter the mass, greater the kinetic energy, right? The current through PN junction, this is actually completing the circuit. Both are at 0 volts potential. So you will say if I apply KVL, overall potential is 8 volts, overall resistance is 800 ohms. So the current will be 1 by 100 amperes. Answer should be in milliampere, so we will say 10 milliampere. Answer is 10. Clear? Audio signal, audio signal is how much? Amplitude is 15, modulates 60, right? So it is AM by AC into 100%. This is known as the depth of modulation or modulation index, right? So it will be how much? It will be 15 by 60 into 100% is 1 za 4 za 1 za 25. Answer will be 25%. Got it? Simple. So depth of modulation, actually they are asking what is the modulation index. Okay. An electromagnetic wave. Now this is very important. Pointing vector. What is pointing vector? This they have started asking recently. Usually this question was not asked for a lot of time, but recently in past 3-4 years I have seen this question coming. They have this question have resurfaced actually. So pointing vector is vector E cross vector B upon mu naught. So if you take its magnitude, it will be E naught B naught by mu naught. What is E naught given? 4 pi, 40 pi. 40 pi into 0.4 into 10 to the power minus 7 upon 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Gone 4. Clear? Formula based question, simple. The error in the measurement of volume, oh god, we know that delta V by V is 3 times delta L by L, right? Or we can say what is delta A by A, it will be 2 times delta L by L, right? So if you take the ratio, delta V by V is 3 by 2 times delta A by A. So what is delta A by A? 2/3 of delta V by V. So delta A by A is 2/3 of delta V by V. So it is 4.5%, it will be 3%, right? Clear? In a conjugate foci method, oh God, see, what is D2 given? 52 centimeter. What is D1 given? 28 centimeter. What is L? It is D1 plus D2, right, which is 80 centimeter. And what is a small d? It is D2 minus D1, which is 24 centimeter. Cool. So what will be the answer? Focal length is L square minus D square upon 4L. This is the formula. Put the values, answer will be near about something like 18 centimeter something, 18.4 something like that, 18.4 centimeter something like that, you will get the answer. Okay, put the values. It will be 80 square minus, sorry, oh God, 18 square, 80 square minus 24 square upon 320. Put the values and get your answer, right? Last question, two bodies A and B have thermal emissivity. See, what is delta Q by delta T? It is emissivity into sigma into A into T to the power 4. Sigma and A are same, this is also same. So we can say that temperature to the power 4 is inversely proportional to emissivity. So T2 by T1 will be emissivity 1 upon emissivity 2 whole to the power 1 by 4. Emissivity 1 is 0.001 upon 0.81 to the power 1 by 4 comes out to be 1 by 3. So T2 will be T1 by 3. T1 is how much? T1 is 5820. 5820 upon 3. 1s are, okay, 3 9s are, 4s are 0. So it comes out to be 1940 Kelvin. Okay guys, so I hope this is clear to all of you, and I have not read the questions because it will take up a lot of time, and I know that you don't have much time. So it's better you just watch the solution. If you, in case you want to read the question again, pause the video, read the question, then follow the solution. That's all for today, and guys, subscribe to our channel. Your subscription is our oxygen. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video with the next solution with more concepts of physics. Till then, keep revising. Bye bye.
Welcome to the video solution of the chemistry section of grand test number 13. I am Nitin Verma, a chemistry faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. So let's begin with the solution. First question was a 100-meter hollow tube of uniform thickness has two open ends X and Y. So this is a tube, right? Its length is 100 meter. Ammonia gas is sent into the tube from end X and hydrogen chloride from end Y. Alright. The question is, at what distance from end X the gases will meet first to form a smoke ring. So basically what happens when ammonia and HCl react, they form white fumes of NH4Cl. Now because as per the Gram's law of diffusion, rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to the square root of its molecular mass. Molecular mass of ammonia is 17 and that of HCl is 36.5, right? Because HCl has a higher molecular mass, it will travel slow, and ammonia has lower molecular mass, so it will diffuse faster. That means ring will be formed closer to HCl, right? The question is at what distance from end X, that is from ammonia. So let's say the distance covered by ammonia is X. So of course the distance covered by HCl is 100 minus X. Now rate of diffusion of ammonia by rate of diffusion of HCl. We know that greater the distance traveled by a gas via diffusion, greater is the rate of diffusion, of course. So I can say that the rate of diffusion of ammonia is X and that of HCl is 100 minus X. Alright, because the question is at what distance from X, which is ammonia, right? Now we also know that from Graham's law, the rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to the square root of molecular mass. So basically the molecular mass of HCl is 36.5 and molecular mass of this is right. So you can solve for this, that answer will come out to be 59.5 meter approximately. Neutralization reaction is accompanied by evolution of heat. True. Neutralization reaction is a reaction between acid and base to form salt and water. Yes, but it is not the correct explanation. Neutralization reaction is accompanied by evolution of heat because it involves bond formation between H plus and OH minus. CO2 is in +4 state, right? It wants to reduce to +3 state, so it can be used as an oxidizing agent. True. Aqueous solution of europium sulfate is a strong reducing agent. Yes, because it wants to oxidize to +3 state. All right. So the correct answer is this. Correct statement number 1 to 4 about silicons are first, second and fourth are correct, right? The polymers with hydrophobic character, yes, because of the alkyl groups on the surface, they are biocompatible. True. In general, they have high thermal stability. Correct. High dielectric constant, not low. Okay? They are resistant to oxidation and used as greases. Absolutely correct. Polymer with low degree of polymerization is known as oligomer. Oligomer means few units. So that is the correct answer. Group 13 doped crystals of silicon are called as p-type semiconductors. Correct, because the increase in conductivity is allegedly because of the positive holes. So that is the correct explanation. Here, fourth option is the correct answer because PCl3 and PCl5, they both replace OH group by Cl group. So if you react alcohol, OH is replaced by Cl, and if you react a carboxylic acid, again OH is replaced by Cl, giving acid chloride. To an aqueous solution containing ions such as this, HCl was added. So this will only lead to the formation of this one. Which one of that would be a copper, right, as cupric sulfide? That would be the correct answer. In the reaction between CH3, CHO, you can see that there is no chiral center here, but yes, here we have a chiral center because this tetrahedral carbon is bonded to methyl hydrogen OH and cyano group. Now always remember, if the reactant is achiral, it does not have a chiral carbon, but the product contains a new chiral carbon, it is always a racemic mixture, 1:1 mixture of the two enantiomers, right? So here the acid obtained will be a 50-50 mixture of D and L. The major product of the following reaction is, this would be first one, because this ketone has alpha hydrogen atom. So first it will be an aldol addition. Right. Now this is a ketone with no alpha hydrogen atom on left, right, okay, and you are reacting with HCHO, which also does not have alpha hydrogen. So this is a crossed Cannizzaro reaction. The second step is crossed Cannizzaro reaction. So what happens? pH, I can write benzene as pH, right? This cannot easily undergo oxidation, so it will reduce, right? So this will be forming CHOH, then C, and then CH2OH, and this, and formaldehyde will undergo oxidation, right? Now again we have a little bit of amount of formaldehyde, and these are glycols, so it will lead to the formation of acetals, right? That is this compound. So this is the correct answer. Here the correct answer is first is a 6-membered ring, pyranose, and you can see hydrogen is at the top, right? So this is alpha glycosidic linkage. Then correct order of stability is this, down the group, because of the increase in cation anion stabilization in group 2 carbonates, the stability increases down the group. So magnesium is least stable and barium carbonate is most stable. Molecular shapes of SF4 is seesaw, right? Fluorine, 4 electrons are shared with fluorine, right? So 2 electrons are left, 1 lone pair. CF4, all the 4 electrons are shared, there is no lone pair, it is tetrahedral. XZF4, 8 electrons are there, 4 are shared with fluorine, 4 are left, so 2 lone pairs, right? So 1, 0, 2, okay, and lone pairs of electrons. Is that clear? So that is the correct answer. The color of light absorbed by an aqueous solution of copper sulfate is orange red because absorbed or emitted color are complementary to each other. So blue and orange red are complementary. Here the correct answer is this, because 2s orbital of hydrogen atom is greater than that of 2s orbital of lithium. True. Why this is true? Because as the atomic number increases, the nuclear attractive force increases and the energy of the electron decreases, right? So that is the correct answer. The gas emitted by supersonic jet which is responsible for the depletion of ozone is nitric oxide, right? Here the correct answer is fourth, because we know hematite is Fe2O3, bauxite is this, magnetite is Fe3O4, malachite is this. So that is the correct answer, right? Which of the following is an analgesic? Novalgene, right? Metamizole. Here you don't have to do the calculation actually, because the question is electrochemical equivalent of copper, which is equivalent weight divided by Faraday constant. Alright, now the equivalent weight of copper is its atomic mass, which is 63.5, divided by n factor, which is 2, right? Because copper carries 2 plus charge. So basically what you have to do is you have to evaluate this 63.5 divided by 2 into 96500. That will be your answer. It will turn out to be 0.00032. A decimolar solution of potassium ferrocyanide is 50% dissociated. Potassium ferrocyanide is K4 Fe CN6, right? So it will give you 4 plus 1, 5 ions. So Van 't Hoff factor would be 1 plus alpha, 50% dissociated, and number of particles are 5, right? So this is 3. Okay, now osmotic pressure is pi is equal to ICRT, right? Van 't Hoff factor is 3. We have calculated decimolar means 0.1 molar, right? Substitute the value of R, substitute the value of temperature 300, you will get the answer as approximately 7.48 into 10 raised to the power 5 Newton per meter square. How many of the compounds can show Claisen condensation, guys? Here they are talking about, I think, Claisen self-ester condensation, which requires presence of at least one alpha hydrogen atom, right? So here we have alpha hydrogen atom, no alpha hydrogen atom, no alpha hydrogen atom, no alpha hydrogen atom. Here we have one alpha hydrogen atom, here we have one alpha hydrogen atom, right? So total compounds are 1, 2 and 3. Alright. How many double bonds are present in the repeating unit structure of polythene? No, because ethene is this. When it polymerizes, this pi bond breaks, this carbon forms a bond with adjacent unit, and this carbon forms a bond with adjacent unit. So there is no pi bond left in the polymer. So this is how we write polythene, right? You can see there is no pi bond, so answer is 0. How many moles of HI react with glycerol to form 2-iodopropane, right? So the answer to this question is 5, because glycerol is a trihydric alcohol. It has 3 OH groups. When you react it with HI, this is a nucleophilic substitution, right? OH is replaced by iodine. But the problem with vicinal iodide is that they are unstable. They want to revert. So a molecule of iodine will be eliminated and we will end up getting this, right? Okay, now there is a double bond. So of course HI will add, right? And again here that iodine will undergo elimination, right? Because iodine will left, and then again it will react with the fifth equivalent of HI. So total molecules will be 5. In silicon, one silicon atom is attached to n number of oxygen atom, and hence is 2, right? So it's like this. Here we have R groups and the chain propagates like this, alright. Total number of POP bonds in P4O6 is 6, because like this, right? So 1 molecule, 1 mole of hydroxypropanol should give 1 mole of acrolein, that is 74 gram of propanol should give 56 gram of acrolein. Now let us suppose the answer is x gram. So x gram of 3-hydroxypropanol should give 56x divided by 74 gram of acrolein, right? So 1 mole of this should give 1 mole of this, 74 gram should give 56 gram, right? X gram should give 56x by 74. Now guys, the percentage yield is actual amount divided by expected amount multiplied by 100, right? Percentage yield is given 64, actual amount is also given 7.8, and expected amount we just calculated it, right? So you can solve for x here. you will calculate, the value comes out to be 16. 2 moles of a perfect gas undergoes the following process because it is a cyclic process, right? So state functions will remain the same. So value will be 0 for all of them because enthalpy, internal energy and entropy are state functions. A certain buffer contains equal concentration of the acid and conjugate base. So in such case, guys, pH will be pKa, right? Now because Kb is 10 raised to the power minus 10, so Ka will be 10 raised to the power minus 4 because for a conjugate acid base pair, K into Kb is 10 raised to the minus 14. So because Kb is 10 to the minus 10, K is 10 to the minus 4, pK will be 4, right? And hence pH will be 4. The rate of reaction was found to be equal to the rate constant at any concentration of the reactant. This is only possible when the power of the concentration of the reactant is 0, right? That is, this is a 0 order reaction. The coordination number of barium in PF2 is 8. So remember guys, if the stoichiometry of a compound is 1 x is to y, the coordination numbers are in the ratio of x y is to x, right? So stoichiometry is 1 barium 2 fluoride, coordination number will be in the ratio of 2 is to 1. Now they have given that coordination number of barium in barium fluoride is 8. So this is 8, it has to be half of that, which is 4. So fluoride might be occupying tetrahedral void. So this is about the video solution of chemistry section. Thank you for watching.
Hi dear students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. This is Bashir, math faculty. Right, let us see the solutions of math part of the question paper dated 23rd January. Okay, right, you see the first question. The angle between the plane, okay, and the line. Where is the line? It is intersection of these two planes. Okay, when the line is intersection of two planes, you see dear friends, if these are the two planes, okay, how to find the drs of the line of intersection of two planes? Simply it is perpendicular to the normals of both the planes. So this is why you just take the cross product of the drs of the first plane of intersection 3, 4, 1, second one is 5, 8, 2. Which is, my dear friends, you can say I cap into, this is 8 minus 8 0 minus j cap into, you can say 6 minus 5 which is 1 plus k cap into, you can say like 24 minus 20 which is 4. So friends, I have taken the drs of the line of intersection of the two planes. It is going to be perpendicular to the both the normals. I have taken the cross product. So these are going to be 0, minus 1, 4, right. Now this is one plane whose normal drs are 1, 1, 1. There is a line, so whose drs are 0, minus 1, 4. I want to find the angle between plane and line. If this is theta, this is pi by 2 minus theta. So cos of pi by 2 minus theta will become sin theta is equal to angle between these two, 0, minus 1 plus 4 modulus by, this is root 3 into root 17, my dear friends, which is 3 by root of 3 into 17, we can say root of 3 by 17 is the answer. So theta is sin inverse of root of 3 by 17 is the answer, friends. Simple. Next question. A is a vector and A bar is coplanar with B bar and C bar. If three vectors are coplanar, their box is 0, their det is 0. So my dear friends, I can say here some question is missing, my dear friends. You see, you just apply the conditions what A bar is satisfying. Accordingly, here we can say that box ABC coplanar means, suppose A bar you can take like, you can say x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So box ABC stands for x, y, z, B is 2, 1, 1, C bar is 1, minus 1, 1. This determinant will be 0, so that you will get one condition in x, y, z and followed by there is some data is missing, so you can try this question. Next question. A group of students comprises of 5 boys and n girls. Okay, there are 5 boys and n girls. If the number of ways in which a team of 3 students be selected from the group such that there is at least 1 boy and 1 girl in each team is. My dear friends, you see, you just take out the case, you see out of this is given as 1750. totally there are n plus 5 students, out of which I need to select 3. So, from this, my dear friends, you take out the case where all students are selected from 5 boys. So, that in this case all are boys, there is no girl, so it should be removed. Similarly, you remove NC3 also. If you select all the 3 from girls, there is no boy, so that case should also be removed. So, these are the number of cases where selecting 3 students out of n plus 5 students, in which there is at least 1 boy, at least 1 girl. This is given as 1750, my dear friends. You just solve this equation, you are going to get n value. Okay. Next, my dear friends, P is the point of intersection of these lines, first line and second line. Okay. And a circle with center 1, 0 passes through P. You take a circle, my dear friends, with center 1, 0. Okay, right, and passes through P. P is a point on it, where P is nothing but the point of intersection of these 2 lines. Okay. If the tangent at P meets x-axis at the point k, 0, then find this. You see, my dear friends, interestingly 1, 0 lies on this line. You see 1, 0. So, this is the 1. So, second line is perpendicular to this, exactly, you see, perpendicular to this, and it should be passing through 1, 0 here also, you see 1, 0. So, I mean to say, you see, P, he said P, it is not passing through 1, 0 actually, but he said P is the point of intersection of these 2 lines. This line is passing through 1, 0. So, 1, 0 is here, right? Yeah. So, this line you can say our circle has center 1, 0, P is the point there. Now, we know that these 2 are perpendicular lines, and he said that this passes through P. These 2 lines are also perpendicular. Okay. Now, my dear friends, if the tangent at P meets x-axis at the point, I am going to say that this line itself going to be tangent at P. How can you say here? Friend, clearly this line is perpendicular to this, fine, and P also lies on this, that is the only possibility. So, this is the tangent. So, tangent at P is nothing but this line, and it meets x-axis at the point k, 0, in the sense put k, 0 here, k is going to be minus 1, is going to be minus 1, that is it. Next, my dear friends, you see this particular cos power 4 theta plus alpha, sin power 4 theta plus alpha are the roots of the equation, okay, and cos square theta plus beta sin square theta plus theta with the roots of second equation, then the value of B is, where is B, my dear friends? So, something is missing. You see, these are the roots of the equation. Okay, here is B, right. So, my dear friends, so in both the cases difference of roots is this, here difference is cos power 4 theta minus sin power 4 theta, here difference is cos square theta minus sin square theta. Friends, you know that cos power 4 theta minus sin power 4 theta is nothing but cos square theta minus sin square theta into cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is 1. That means for this quadratic equation difference of roots is same as for this quadratic equation difference of roots. For a regular quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, difference of roots mod alpha minus beta is given by root of b square minus 4ac by mod a, my dear friends. So, here what is the difference of equations? Root of 4b square minus 4b by mod a is 1, which is also equal to here root of b square minus 4ac by mod a. So, my dear friends, you can say 2 into root of b square minus b is equal to 2 root 2. Yeah, you can solve this, my dear friends. You are going to get b square minus b is equal to 2 minus 2 equal to 0. B is going to be minus 1 comma 2, my dear friends. Minus 1 comma 2, so you can take minus 1 is available. Okay, that is it. Next, my dear friends, ABC are 3 distinct real numbers in GP. A plus B plus C is XB. Array, why don't you take A, B as AR, C as AR square? A plus B plus C is XB means A plus AR square is equal to X into AR. So, A can be cancelled, 1 plus R square is equal to X into R. So, X you can write, my dear friends, 1 plus r plus 1 by r. Okay. Now, if r is positive, you know r plus 1 by r is always greater than or equal to 2, so it will be greater than or equal to 3. If r is negative, you know t plus 1 by t is greater than or equal to 2 if t is positive, less than or equal to minus 2 if t is negative. That is what we know. If it is less than or equal to minus 2, it is less than or equal to 1 minus 2 is minus 1 if r is negative. So, x cannot take the value between minus 1 and 2, perfect friends, because this takes minus infinity to minus 1 union 3 to infinity. Yes, x cannot take the value between these two is perfectly correct. The least positive integral value of x is 3, that is also correct. Positive integral value is 3, both are correct. Next friends, the greatest coefficient in a plus b plus c power 7 multinomial theorem. So, generally when they are equal, you can take like 7, 2, 2, 2 will be 3 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial, one possibility, and 7 factorial by, you can write, you see almost the same, 3, 3, 1, you just check out of these where this is going to be this, just almost they are equal it will be. So, you just check this case, you are going to get the greatest than this. So, you can comfortably say that this is going to be the greatest. Just simplify my dear friends, this is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 by 4 my dear friends. This is, you can say 30, 21, 2 and 0, 2 and 0 is the answer. Okay. Next my dear friends, this expression is going to be, my dear friends, if you just expand this determinant either by applying the operations and all, you are going to get a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square. A, B, C are real numbers, then this cannot be. So, you see this cannot be 0 always. If A, B, C is 0, that is fine. So, then if A, B, C simultaneously 0, there is no straight line. So, A and B cannot be 0 simultaneously. So, this must be 0, that means this line must pass through the point 1 comma 1. Just expand the determinant either by operations or regular one. Okay. Next my dear friends, you see P is the orthogonal matrix in the sense P into P transpose is equal to P transpose into P is equal to I. A is involutory matrix, means self inverse, that is A square is equal to I. Now, Q is given PAP transpose, X is given. Friends, you just find Q square PAP transpose into PAP transpose. You know matrix multiplication is associative, this is I. So, P A square P transpose, but yeah, you can say my dear friends in the same way, but A involutory means having self inverse, A square is equal to I. So, my dear friends, finally if this is involutory means self inverse, A square is I, this is going to be P into P transpose, which is again I. So, in the same way you are going to get this is I, this will also be I, X inverse is its inverse, this I itself. Okay. Next my dear friends, you see the coordinates of the point on the curve y square is equal to 8x whose distance from the circle is minimum, my dear friends. You see one is a parabola, other is a circle. Okay. Parabola, circle, you see the minimum distance will be along the common normal always. So, common normal in the sense, try to take the normal equation to this particular parabola, y plus xt is equal to atq plus 2at, because a is 2 my dear friends. So, this is the normal equation. So, now it has to pass through the center of the circle my dear friends. Center of the circle is 0 comma minus 6, right, because any normal to the circle must pass through the center. Substitute 0 comma minus 6, minus 6 is equal to 2t cube plus 4t, that means t cube plus 2t minus 3 is equal to 0, t is equal to 1 is one of the values my dear friends. So, other values also you can find. When t is equal to 1, the point is at square comma 2at, my dear friends. A is already 2 comma 4, 2 comma 4 is the point. If you want, you can also find other points, maybe this may be the only real route. Okay, 2 comma 4 is there. So, do remember the shortest distance will be along the common normal. Next point, the 3 sides of a trapezium are equal, each side being 8, then the maximum area of the trapezium. You see, suppose the trapezium is like this, each side is 8 I want to maximize the area. So, by symmetry it must be, my dear friends, suppose it is H and it is X, it is H, it is X, where it will have, so maximum area, it must be isosceles trapezium undoubtedly. Now, suppose this angle is some alpha, my dear friends. So, cos alpha is, and he said then the maximum area, each being 8, 3 sides of a trapezium are equal, he said. If this is 8, my dear friends, cos alpha is going to be x by 8, whereas sin alpha is going to be h by 8, my dear friends. Now, area of the trapezium is half into sum of the parallel sides, 8 plus 2x into perpendicular distance between them, h, my dear friends. So, I can write half, this is 16 plus x, let me write 8 cos alpha, 8 cos alpha, and h, let me write 8 sin alpha. Okay. So, you can take 8 common here, 8 common here, 64. So, 32 into 2 plus cos alpha into sin alpha. Okay. So, this you need to maximize, my dear friends. So, you can take the expression like 2 plus cos alpha into sin alpha. So, you can just write 32 into, you can write cos alpha sin alpha, 2 sin alpha plus cos alpha sin alpha. Okay. You can also take its derivative and check, my dear friends. This is the function we converted into single variable. So, you just check, my dear friends, where the derivative will be. So, 32 is anyhow common. So, this is, you can write this expression as 32 into 2 sin alpha plus sin 2 alpha by 2, my dear friends. So, take its derivative 2 sin alpha derivative cos alpha plus half sin 2 alpha derivative cos 2 alpha into 2. This must be made 0, my dear friends. So, cos 2 alpha is nothing but 2 cos square alpha minus 1 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation, my dear friends. Yeah, cos alpha is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, which is 4. So, you can say, my dear friends, minus 1 plus or minus, this is 12 means root 3 by 2. So, cos alpha is root 3 plus 1 by 2, in the sense cos 15 degrees is root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2, right. This is going to be, I can say, my dear friends, so cos alpha. Otherwise, you take these values, accordingly you find sin alpha and substitute in this. Okay. That is simple, right. When cos alpha is minus 1 minus root 3 is not possible, it is negative, root 3 minus 1 by, if you cancel 2, my dear friends, this is going to be 2. If cos alpha is this, find sin alpha and you can substitute here so that you can get the area maximum. That is it. Procedure is simple, my dear friends. In this case, you take here x, here h, you can write in a single variable. So, I can say, my dear friends, half into sum of the parallel sides into distance between them, x and h I have written in terms of alpha, then you just take the derivative and make it equal to 0 and maximize this. Just check the calculation, accordingly you will get the answer, right. Next, my dear friends, which of the following is not an equivalence relation? You see, a, b are integers, a plus b an even integer is equivalence, because a plus a is even. If a plus b is even, b plus a is also even. A plus b even, b plus c even means undoubtedly a plus c will be even, right. So, whereas a is equal to b is a standard one, equal to is always equivalence, and a minus b even integer is also equivalence, because a minus a 0 is even. If a minus b is even, b minus a also, a minus b, b minus c are even, so a minus c also. So, a less than b fails to be symmetric, my dear friends, because if a less than b does not imply b less than a. So, it is the answer, this is the answer. Okay. Next, you see, root 3 into a cross b and b bar minus a bar dot b bar are two sides of a triangle. First of all, my dear friends, a cross b is a vector perpendicular to a bar and b bar. This is like b bar minus some number into a bar will be in the plane containing a bar and b bar. So, if this is the plane containing a bar b bar, root 3 into a cross b will be like this. So, undoubtedly my dear friends, if this vector is here, this is the along the normal. So, the triangle that is going to be formed is right angle triangle. He said obtuse angle triangle is absolutely wrong. The ratio of two sides also, my dear friends, you just take this is the right angle triangle undoubtedly. So, one side is going to be root 3 into of course a cross b, other side is going to be b bar minus lambda a bar, where lambda is a dot b, my dear friends. So, this is 90 degrees undoubtedly. Then the ratio of the other two sides he is asking, and he has given a bar is a unit vector in the direction of b bar, he said, but it cannot be in the direction of b bar. If a bar is in the direction of b bar, so a cross b will become 0 bar, right. So, it is not possible because they are in the same direction, sin 0 is 0. So, some data error is this here. Suppose if you discard this particular phrase, root 3 into a cross b. So, you try to take its magnitude root 3 into magnitude of a into magnitude of b into, suppose angle between a and b is theta. So, this is sin theta is the magnitude, my dear friends. Given a bar is a unit vector, so this is root 3 into magnitude of b into sin theta. And friends, my dear friend, this is going to be its magnitude means it is a square, vector square is magnitude of b bar square plus magnitude of lambda square minus 2 a dot b into lambda. So, lambda is also a dot b, my dear friends. So, this is you can say magnitude of b bar square plus this is lambda square is nothing but magnitude of a square magnitude of b square cos square theta minus 2 into twice of this, which is magnitude of a square magnitude of magnitude of a into magnitude of b into cos theta here. So, this is cos theta, same again. So, b square cos square theta. So, you can say, my dear friends, b square one gets cancelled, b square minus b square cos square theta. So, it is going to be b square sin square theta, my dear friends. B square sin square theta, under root means mod b sin theta, mod b sin theta. You see, if this is mod b sin theta, this is root 3 into mod b sin theta, they are in the ratio 1 is to root 3. If 1 root 3, that must be 2, right. So, that is 30, 60, 90 triangle it is. So, 1 is to 3 is wrong, both the statements are false. So, 1, 2 are false, right. Next, my dear friends, each side of length 4 units of an equilateral triangle, okay, length 4 units of this equilateral triangle at the center, that means centroid is the center, right, subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the top of the tower H units high situated at the center of the circle. Center means undoubtedly for an equilateral triangle it is the centroid, here on tower is situated. So, this you see this side is making an angle 60 degrees here. Let me write here, my dear friends, this is the equilateral triangle at center, suppose one pole is kept. So, now this side is subtending right angle triangle, he said this side is subtending 60 degrees, he said at the top of the tower. That means, if you take this particular triangle, so let me say, my dear friend, this is A, B, C, G, D. You just consider triangle ABD, which is going to be, the base is going to be 4, it is like this, here 60 degrees is there, right. And one thing, what about this height, my dear friends? I can say here, so each one is subtending 60 degrees, he said, and this is going to be the height of the tower H, and this is going to be 2/3 of the altitude. So, height is root 3 by 2 into A, which is root 3 by 2 into 4, which is going to be 2 root 3 is the complete height. 2/3 of this will be there, which is I can say 4 by root 3 is going to be this, 4 by root 3, this is 90 degrees, my dear friends. Okay. Now, he is asking H square, my dear friends. So, how to take this particular triangle? You can just take even this right angle triangle, my dear friends. This is going to be He said each side of length 4 of an equilateral triangle subtends an angle 60 degrees at the top of the tower. So, by symmetry this should also be, undoubtedly it should be isosceles triangle, it should also be equilateral triangle, my dear friends. Why? Symmetry will be there, this side and equal. Here 60 means here also 60, it must be equilateral triangle. This should also be 4, my dear friends. So, height is going to be 16 minus 16 by 3 under root, which is 16 into 2 by 3. So, root of 32 by 3. So, h square is 32 by 3, that is all. Next friends, you see this is a standard integral, you can write it as cos c plus cos d 2 cos c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2. Here you write 1 minus 2 cos 3x, you write in half angles, that is 2 cos square 3x by 2 minus 1 dx, which is friends you can take here, this is minus 4, this is plus 2, which is going to be 3 minus 4 cos square 3x by 2, okay, right. And here my dear friends 2 cos x by 2 multiplied by, you just treat it as cos 3 theta, my dear friends. Cos 3 theta is 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. You take cos theta common, cos 3x by 2, you will get 4 cos square theta minus 3. You see is exactly cancel with this with minus sign. So, minus integral 2 cos a cos b, it is 3x by 2 cos x by 2 dx, minus 2 cos a cos b will become cos a plus b plus cos a minus b dx. Now, my dear friends, you can say cos 2x integral is sin 2x by 2 plus cos x integral is sin x, that is all. So, minus of sin, you see somewhere do we have 2? In fact, my dear friends, we do not have, just check once, here 2 is there, no, cos 2x integral is 2. So, sin 2x plus 2 sin x by 2, sin 2x, this is minus half sin 2x minus sin x plus c, second option is the right answer. Next, my dear friends, you see these are two simple inverse trigonometric equations. If you add these two, cos inverse x by a plus sin inverse x by a will become pi by 2. So, plus cos inverse y by b minus sin inverse y by b is equal to 5 pi by 12, pi by 12, 6 pi by 12, that is pi by 2. So, these two get cancelled, you will get cos inverse y by b is equal to sin inverse y by b. Undoubtedly y by b now must be 1 by root 2, my dear friends, and hence in the question y square by b square will become 1 by 2. So, the answer is more than 1 by 2. Now, x square by a square I want, we can take this. So, cos inverse x by a plus cos inverse 1 by root 2 is pi by 4, pi by 4 means 3 pi by 12, take that side 2 pi by 12, pi by 6. So, x by a must be root 3 by 2, my dear friends, whose square is 3 by 4, 3 by 4. So, 3 by 4 plus 1 by 2 you are going to get, okay. So, you may get 5 by 4, right. So, my dear friends, this is the answer. Next, you see the range of the function 4 power x minus, you see this, if you take 2 power x as t, this is t square minus 2t plus 1 with step, where t is nothing but 2 power x, belongs to 2 power x least value is open 0 to infinity. Now, which is step of t minus 1 whole square, this one, its minimum value is almost, t is minimum almost 2 power minus infinity will be almost 0, right. So, t can be 1, my dear friends, almost 1, then in that case the step is going to be 0, then 1, 2, 3 all will come, since it is step we will be getting all whole numbers, okay, not only whole, all whole numbers. Next, you see the two lines lie in the same plane, that means my dear friends, you can take here like, you see if they lie in the same plane, the vector connecting the 2 points, what is this? This point is 1, 2, 3, this point is 2, 3, 4. What is the vector connecting these two? 2 minus 1, 3 minus 2, 1, 4 minus 3, 1. the DRs are 2 x1 x2, this is 3 4 5. This det must be 0 because these 3 vectors are coplanar, so the det is 0. So if you expand this, you are going to get this x2 plus 2 value, because 1 into 3 4 5, right, 1 into 5x1 minus 4x2 minus 1 into 10 minus 3x1 plus 1 into, you can write 8 minus 3x1 equal to 0. This is 5x1 minus 4x2 minus 10 plus 3x1 plus 8 minus 3x1 equal to 0. Minus 3x1 plus 3x1 got cancelled. You are left with 5x1 here minus 4x2 here is going to be 10 minus 8, which is 2, my dear friends. You just check here, see 5x1 minus 4x2. Actually x2 plus 2 value you have to get in terms of x1, my dear friends. Once again, you see the point here is 1 2 3, it is 2 3 4, the vector connecting them is 1 1 1. Then similarly 2 x1 x2 3 4 5, 1 into 5x1 minus 4x2 minus of 10 minus 3x2, this is 10 minus 3x2 it is, plus 1 into 8 minus 3x1, this is friends, this is 3x2 it is, plus 3x2. So you have to write 5x1 minus 3x1 is 2x1 and this is going to be minus x2, minus 4x2 plus 3x2 minus x2 is equal to 2, my dear friends. So x2 plus 2 you can write here, 2x1 is equal to x2 plus 2. So if x2 plus 2 is replaced by 2x1, he is asking sum of the roots of this equation minus b by a, minus 2x1 by x1, my dear friends, which is minus 2. Okay, that's it. Next, the probability that a randomly selected 2-digit number belongs to the set. You see, my dear friends, a 2-digit number start from 10, end with 99. There are 90 numbers. How many of, you see, they must be in the format of 3 power n minus 2. See, I want the probability that a randomly selected 2-digit number belongs to this. What set? It must be natural number, and 2 power that number minus 2 is multiple of 3. I want 2 power n minus 2 must be divisible by 3. I write this as, of course, 3 minus 1 whole power n minus 2. So minus 1 power n into 1 minus 3 whole power n minus 2. So minus 1 power n into, if you write the expansion, first one will be 1, the next one nc1 into 3, all will be multiple of 3 only, minus 2. So friends, I can say minus 1 power n minus 2 plus minus 1 power n into 3k, whatever it is, like 3l only. This is, now if this is multiple of 3, the total number is divisible by 3. If n is odd number, this is minus 3, it is divisible by 3. If n is even number, it is minus 1, not divisible. So n must be odd, my dear friends. Out of the 90 numbers, how many are odd? Undoubtedly 45. 45 by 90, 1 by 2 is the answer. Okay. Next, my dear friends, the hyperbola does not have mutually perpendicular tangents, then the possible values of the eccentricities. It is very clear. You see, mutually perpendicular tangent means we should immediately recall, what is that? Yeah, one special concept is there, director circle. The director circle of this particular one is going to be x square plus y square is equal to a square minus b square, right. So, my dear friends, it does not have, in the sense, a square minus b square, if it is positive, it will have certain set of points. If a square is equal to b square, also one point exists, but if a square less than b square, then it is impossible. There is no director circle. That means no point in the plane from which I can draw two perpendicular tangents to the hyperbola. So, but b square is equal to a square into 1 minus e square, right. So, 1 less than 1 minus e square less than 2. No, mean to say sorry, this is a square is less than e square minus 1 in case of hyperbola. So, 1 less than e square minus 1. So, 2 less than e square. So, e must be greater than root 2, my dear friends. You know, my dear friends, if e is root 2, we call it as rectangular hyperbola. If e is more than root 2, we can say here in such cases this particular, you see, director circle does not exist here, and hence e must be root 2. 3 by 2 is 1.5. This is, my dear friend, root 2 is 1.414. Yeah. So, right, 8 by 7 is 1.142857. So, 5 by 3 is, you see, 1.33. 7 by 5 is 1.4. So, this cannot be, this cannot be, you just check this cannot be, this is okay, because it must be more than root 2, my dear friends. Next, the sum of 2000 powers the roots of this equation. Friends, you can observe that it can be x minus 1 into x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. So, its roots are 1 minus omega square, 1 power 2022 plus minus omega power 2022 plus minus omega square power 2022. So, 2022 is multiple of 3, you will get 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3 is the answer. Okay. Next, my dear friends, the variance of first n natural numbers is n into n minus 1 by 12 under root is standard deviation. So, this is the variance which is going to be 10, and the variance of first m even natural numbers, common difference is 2 into root of m into m minus 1 by 12 is the standard deviation, my dear friends. So, 16 means he has given 4, standard deviation 4. You just square, my dear friends, 4 3 times gets cancelled, m into m minus 1 is going to be, we can say, yeah, is equal to 16 into 3, 48. If you just square on both sides, it will be 16, here it will be 3, 48. Now, yeah, then m plus n is, so what can be, this is, yeah, the variance of first n natural numbers is n into n minus 3 by 12, n minus 3, yes. So, this is n into n minus 3 is equal to 120, my dear friends. From this you will get n value, and here m into this variance of first n natural numbers, you just recall the formula, or else you can also find, you see, suppose 1, 2, 3 and so on n numbers, if you take, this is going to be standard deviation, sigma n square is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6 by n minus average square n into n plus 1 by 2 whole square. This is going to be the standard deviation. So, n gets cancelled, my dear friends, this is 4. So, you can take n square root of, you can take n plus 1 common, my dear friends, n plus 1, this is 4, this is 6. So, you can take 12 common, my dear friends. So, you are going to be 2 into 2n plus 1, that is 4n plus 2 minus of 4 means here you are going to get, yeah, n into n plus 1 by 2, we have taken n plus 1 common, you are going to get n plus 1 into, you can say, sigma xi square by n minus, this is average means here you have to write one more n, one n gets cancelled, my dear friends. So, if you take n plus 1 common, n plus 1 into n will be left here, right, because average of this is sigma xi means n into n plus 1 by 2 by n its square, which is n plus 1 whole square by 4, my dear friends. So, I can say here it is simple calculation, just I forgot the formula, I think we can do undo. Okay, anyhow, this is, friends, we got n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Suppose I am just deriving this n plus 1 by 6, its average sigma xi square by n minus sigma xi by n, sigma xi average itself n into n plus 1 by 2 by n is n plus 1 by 2 whole square. This is the standard deviation, my dear friends. You can take n plus 1 by 12 common, you are going to get 2 into 2n plus 1, which is 4n plus 2, minus, you can say, my dear friends, n plus 1 will be left, this is 4, no, into 3. So, which is square root of n plus 1 into 4n minus 3n is n, 2 minus 3. So, yeah, this is 12. So, this is root of n square minus 1 by 12. Yeah. So, I have applied the formula wrong. This is why most of the students do this mistake, my dear friends. I wantedly done that because if you can't recall the formula in a right time, it kills lot of time. Do remember, the standard deviation of first n natural numbers is root of n square minus 1 by 12. This is what most of the students do. Okay. So, this is why most important formulae, concept, definitions are very, very important. Root of n square minus 1 by 12. Now, if you come to the point, my dear friends, yeah. So, do remember, if n numbers are taken in AP, the standard deviation is mod d into root of n square minus 1 by 12. So, in the first case also, first n natural numbers d is 1, n square minus 1 by 12 is the standard deviation, which is root 10 is the first equation. The second case, 2 into root of m square minus 1 by 12 is going to be, yeah, standard deviation is 4. These are two equations, my dear friends. You can simply solve it. So, n square minus 1 is equal to 120. So, n is equal to 11. So, this is 2 times. So, m square minus 1 is 48, m is equal to 7. You see, very easy it is now. Now, then m plus n is 11 plus 7, 18 is the answer. Next, friends. Z is one complex number, Z bar is another complex number, then the sum of the ordered pairs x, the elements of x and y. You see, Z bar actually, this is x square minus 7x is the real part as it is, plus 9yi, but Z bar is actually given as, you see, real part is we can say minus 12 plus y square plus 20 into I. So, if these two are equal, my dear friend, these two must be equal, x square minus 7x plus 12 equal to 0. So, you can say 4, 3 x values. Here y square plus 20 is equal to 9y. So, y square minus 9y plus 20 is equal to 0. You can say 4, 5. So, what are the combinations of x, y? You see, 4, 4, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, that is all. He is asking the sum, that is it. Sum of all these you can get, my dear friends, 8 plus 6, which is going to be 14, 24 plus 8, 32. 32 is the answer. Next, my dear friends. Yeah, you can observe this is recently in 2022 JEE mains given question. The speciality of this function is f of x plus f of 2 minus x. You just compute, you will get 1. Just observe, just consider f of 2 minus x, the sum will be 1. So, you see, this is 1 by 20, this is 2 complement only. So, if you pair up the first and last, 39 means if 40 20 pairs, 19 pairs plus in the middle you will be left with f of 1 by 2. F of 1 by 2 will become 1 by 2 itself. So, 1 by 2, which is 19.5 is the answer. That is it. Next, my dear friends, integral minus 20 pi to 20 pi mod sin x into step of sin x, my dear friends. You see, you can say here integral 20 pi mod sin x into step of sin x. You take it as I, my dear friends, integral minus 20 pi to 20 pi, this mod sin x into step of sin x dx. You just apply the basic property, that is a plus b minus x property. This becomes modulus of minus sin x is this itself. This becomes sin of minus sin x with step. Step of minus sin x you can write. So, this becomes dx. Let it be I, my dear friends. So, you just consider 2i, one I is this, second I is this. This will be minus 20 pi to 20 pi mod sin x, you can take common, step x plus step of minus x. This becomes integer here and there. Throughout the journey it is almost integer will be here and there. When it is non-integer it is minus 1, my dear friends. So, this is minus 1 into integral minus 20 pi to 20 pi mod sin x. mod sin x is a periodic function with period pi. So, minus 1, there are 40 such. So, 40 into integral 0 to pi mod sin x. Mod sin x is well known, this area is 2 units because this is 1 and 1. You can put 2 here, minus 80 is going to be 2i, I is, he is asking, yeah, is equal to k, he wants mod k is equal to 40 because 2i is minus 80, do remember. So, the number of solutions of this equation, this is simple my dear friends, if you write it as 3 square, so here base is 3 my dear friends, this 2 comes here, this is log x base 2 whole square is equal to log x base 2 minus log x base 2 whole square plus 1. If you take this as t, 2t square minus t plus 1 equal to 0. You will get t value to be my dear friends minus 1 comma 1 minus 1 by 2, right. Yeah. So, my dear friends, I can say here t is log x base 2, do remember this is log x base 2 is going to be minus 1 comma, you check the calculations properly my dear friends. This is, if you write 3 square, 2 comes here, log x base 2 whole square, t square is equal to t minus t square, that is 2t square minus t minus 1 equal to 0, yes. So, friends, t value is going to be 1 comma, you can say minus 1 by 2, yes. So, t is log x base 2 my dear friends, but log x base 2 is something in terms of logarithm, it cannot be. So, t is equal to 1. So, log x base 2 is 1 means x is equal to 2, it satisfies. So, one and only one solution for this equation. Next my dear friend, this is another simple question, u of x is given as 7 v of x. So, take derivative, u dash of x is equal to 7 v dash of x. So, u dash x by v dash of x is going to be 7 my dear friends. So, q value is 7. Next. So, this is going to be 7, p value is 7 and its derivative, u by v is constant, its derivative is 7 derivative 0, this is going to be 0. So, 7 square plus 0 square is the answer, 49. Next friends, the area of the bounded region enclosed between the curves, you see this is quadratic in x my dear friends, y is equal to minus b x square plus x. Second one is y is equal to 1 by b into x square, right. So, here the area enclosed between these two, in the sense you can take, you can subtract, we have a shortcut, right. This is minus b x square, this minus this, minus 1 by, this is, yeah, you can see both are x square only. So, you have to write it as minus b, otherwise 1 by b minus b into x square minus x is the quadratic. So, compare this with ax square plus bx plus c, apply delta is equal to b square minus 4ac and delta power 3 by 2 by 6a square is the area, that is it. You can prepare this. So, delta is my dear friends here b square minus, b square is 1 minus 4ac is 0. So, yeah, this is the quadratic equation. Now, delta power 3 by 2, that is 1 by 6 into a square, that is 1 by b minus b whole square. This is the one he is asking the maximum, given b is positive. So, then the maximum value of b, you see area between these two curves is maximum, then the value of b. This is maximum my dear friends, here you will get, when you subtract here you will get plus, right, this is plus. So, this is plus, b plus 1 by b is maximum, this area maximum means b is minimum, right. So, the minimum value is possible when b is equal to 2, t plus 1 by t is greater than or equal to 2 when b is 1. So, when b is equal to 1 it will have its minimum value, right, then the area is maximum. So, b value is 1, right. Next, you see this is simple one, you just find the limit like expansion cos 2x power 1 by 2, right, cos 2x expansion 1 minus x square by 2 factorial power 1 by 2 into 1 minus x, because denominator is having degree 2, do not write the terms above 2. So, x square by 2 factorial power 1 by 3. So, like that 1 minus nx square by 2 factorial power 1 by n by x square, my dear friends. In this stage 1 plus x whole power n, you can write 1 plus nx, 1 minus, you see, I think you know 1 plus x or 1 minus x whole power n is approximately 1 minus nx when x tends to 0. Right here x is tending to 0. So, you can take, my dear friends, this becomes 1 minus half comes here. So, this is 2 square x square by 2 square into 1 minus 1 by 3 comes here. So, you can say 1 2 gets cancelled here, 2x, here 1 3 gets cancelled, 3x square by 2. Next like that it will be 1 minus n x square by 2, my dear friends. If you just multiply, constant term is 1, 1 gets cancelled, x square coefficient is going to be minus of, you see, 2 by 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 4 by 2 and so on n by 2, which is n into n plus 1 by, this is sum, you add 1 and subtract 1 by 2 and subtract 1 by 2. So, which is n into n plus 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2, my dear friends. This is given as 10, you just find the value of n, then the natural number, the sum of divisors of n, it is not a big deal, you can easily find the number, then its factors, right. Next, the product of order and degree of the differential equation of all tangent lines of the parabola. You see, any tangent to this can be taken as x is equal to my plus a by m, a is 1 by m, my dear friends. So, you can take like 1 by m into x is equal to y plus 1 by m square. For easiness, y is equal to 1 by m, you take it as t, tx minus t square, tx minus 1 by m if you take it as t. This is the tangent equation, my dear friends. Y dash is equal to t, that is it. So, eliminate 3, you are going to get y is equal to y dash into x minus y dash square. Clearly, there is single parameter, so order 1. So, degree, so all the powers of derivatives are natural numbers, so degree is 2. Okay. Then he is asking the product of order and degree, 1 into 2 product is 2, my dear friends. That is all about this paper, dear students, bit comfortable and easy paper, right. All the best.